You know, as a head of state, if you commit local crimes, more often than not, it's easy to get away with it, especially depending on the country you hail from. If you come from Kenya, even better, because out here, the interpreters of the law, the enforcers of the law, and the lawmakers are all mostly corrupt. But the moment you expand your criminal enterprise to international scale, yet you are not from a first world country, or at the very least even a member of the UN Security Council, your goose is cooked. And that's the challenge that Ruto faces today. Allow me to put things into context. You see, a month ago, Rigathi did an interview where he exposed Ruto for his weapons dealings with RSF of Sudan. Here's the tip.
For the deaths occurring in the Sudan, the real commander of RSF is not Hemeti, it's William Ruto, because for a movement to succeed, it needs money. The money from gold is being cleaned through Kenya to buy arms, to go and kill women and children.
And you know my next question would be to substantiate these claims.
But I'm saying this guy was here, his movement was here the other day.
That's in the public domain.
Listen, no, I'm asking you. This man has international sanctions against him for genocide.
True.
He has been given a safe haven in Nairobi. He was here forming a government in KICC. That cannot happen without William Ruto. Everybody knows that why William Ruto is having relations with Hemedi through Nairobi is for the gold business. And the gold business, the proceeds are buying arms to butcher children and women. And I want to ask the international community, and I want to say I'm available to give evidence, and I want to tell the international community, it is pointless to levy sanctions against Hemeti. The person you need to levy sanctions against is William Ruto. And this thing of Sudan will be sorted out, because if there are sanctions against William Ruto, he'll stop entertaining Hemeti. Gold will stop being processed in Nairobi. There will be no money to buy arms to go and kill.
And now NTV have the evidence. Here's a tip.
Our investigation also identified an additional set of green crates with Kenyan labels as seen in one of the videos recorded in the room. According to the munitions experts, this contract number shows it was likely initially delivered to Kenyan authorities in 2023. This is significant because it further proves that these crates were diverted to Sudan after the beginning of the war in April 2023.
Now, why does all this even matter? It matters because as we speak, the opposition has begun the lengthy process of delivering the Ruto files to Hague. And top of their list is crimes against humanity. And this is very easy to prove if you ask me. If we are talking about abductions and extrajudicial killings, JB Muturi will be the star witness because he was there when Ruto ordered Haji to effect the release of his own son. Meaning he also knew where all the others were, Billy Mwangi, Kibet Bull and the others. Here's the tip.
I said, I was lucky that when my son was abducted, I was able to reach the president, and he immediately ordered Nuruddin Haji to release him. And Nuruddin, went ahead and released him. How about these parents and relatives who cannot reach the president? It is something that is so serious that we must shelve all other things that we are doing. Because I do recall that during the campaigns, we went around the country saying that abductions, extrajudicial killings would never happen at our watch. But now it is happening. It has been happening, and we are trying to normalize it as we are here mourning and grieving about these four who have gone missing.
So that's a slam dunk case if Muturi is a star witness. Provided tusisikia lijigonga kichwa kwa cell, it's a slam dunk. The other slam dunk case is that of Hemedi and RSF. Because Rigathi Gachagua just so happens to be at the center of this hurricane. I heard Gachagua in a recent interview, and I'm sure you probably did also, talking about protocol of inviting foreign leaders. A sitting president cannot invite a deputy president of another country. It is upon the deputy president of this country to invite another deputy president or vice president for that matter, or deputy prime minister of another nation to come to this one. So Ruto was boxed by this diplomatic norm. He had to go to Gachagua and tell him to invite Hemedi to Kenya. And so Gachagua went on to invite Hemedi. He received him at the airport, delivered him to Ruto at State House. But in the process, him being a former member of the disciplined forces, he decided to gather some intel to find out why Hemedi was coming to see Ruto, because Ruto wasn't being forthright with him about it. Turns out it was all about gold. Not my words, this is something Rigiji said, and I don't feel the need to replay it here because the entire nation has seen it by this juncture. So in this particular case, Rigathi Gachagua is playing the role of Mukhwana in the Talam and Eliud Lagat case. Mukhwana is at the center stage of everything that is happening. He is the one who had the keys to the cell. He's the one who let the goons into the cell to beat up Albert Ojwang and kill him. He's the one who opened the cell for the body to be taken to Bagathi. He knows who did what and what at what time and who gave the orders. That is why he's incriminating Talam. This This time, Gachagua is playing that same role as that of Mukhwana. Only difference is he has no culpability. He did not sign anything dealing with gold. He did not sign anything dealing with guns. He was never part of the meeting. He was told, invite him, receive him, deliver him to me. So if he were to come out and be a key witness, it's a slam dunk case. And the only way to mitigate such a scenario from happening, whereby Rigathi and JB Muturi are at Hague singing tunes, it is eliminating them. But then again, these are not small fish. People are not fools. You touch those two, forget maandamano ya Albert, it could be years before we even go back to normalcy. So anywho, this is a very big threat coming from the opposition. I wonder if they will go through and deliver it to Hague, or if this is just a tool to get the president worried and maybe have him involved in a meeting or two. Till then, we'll just never know, but if they do decide to follow through with it, things could get very ugly. Nonetheless, here's the ad for the day. If you have an upcoming event, be it a wedding, a polite function, or even a birthday, make sure to reach out to Bouncers with Degrees. These guys are elite professionals that always deliver. In fact, let me just walk you through their catalog because it's quite extensive. So Bouncers with Degrees offer VVIP and VIP protection, escort protection. They can double up as bodyguards. They offer hotel and restaurant bouncers. They offer wedding and burial security. They offer public event security. They can even offer professional drivers if needed to pair up with the security. They offer private security, perhaps on your property or wherever it is you need them to be, they'll be there. They also offer gym instructors because the entire crew is fit. That's how you make the cut to join this team. Now, if you're in need of services from Bouncers with Degree, you can reach out to them at 0700 491 645 or 0711 206 324. Or if you're old school like myself and you prefer using emails, just so that you can have access to paper trail, you can reach out to them at bouncerwithdegree@gmail.com. And with that, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button, you're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.